Ustole. When matters most, he said, I'm here, Bafetu. Bafetu. I'll come to the party and help you guys as one of your teammates. And he had some moment where we needed him, and he came to the party. And well done, Sotole. Days are not the same. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does work. And you did very well against South Korea. And the last few minutes, like I said, that when matters most, you came to the party. There's one thing that when you've got Mfokeng, you've got almost two players in one, because he can play as a winger on the left, he can play as a number 10. And we saw when he plays at number 10 that is very good. And when you see that in that number 10, maybe things are not working out, you can still put him as a winger on the left, and then he's going to make a difference overseas. For you. But some of the countries, 100% of their players are playing overseas. They don't play locally. When you look at all these countries, you'll agree with me to say, yes, we can say the level where there and there exposed. But when you look at it in reality, our league, I think there is something good that we are doing in our league. If you're going to have 97% of local players playing the World Cup, go to the second round, it's a really appreciate, guys. If he wants to make a change, he can only take out Apolise, because I can see maybe he wants to strengthen the midfield. You can take out Apolise and say, go really, you can go to the left. And then put Adams. You know why? Because I've realized that these guys, they've assigned somebody to take care of Tebza. They didn't mind to sacrifice a midfielder to take care of Tebza. So now, as we see that Tebza, he's not involved more in the game. So you needed a player that will play more or less similar job like Utebza, to say he can get the ball from the back, he can make everyone play, he can also advance when we need him to go forward. And the only player that I think he can do that job very well was Jaden Adams. I think Jaden... Hugo Bruce, you must trust Kingama 2000. Welcome to Source Football Wisdom. Please, Buffett, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and post. Especially to subscribe. Sorry for the delay of today. You know what happened last night. So some of us had to sleep in the morning. This morning, actually. I slept this morning for a couple of hours. And then I need to prepare myself to come and be with you guys. You know, our time is always 10 o'clock in the morning every Monday. Source Football Wisdom live on Omni Audio Africa.
Hotman.
Hola.
2 games to talk about, kahle.
Okay.
Because basically South Korea now. So
yeah.
Let's start from lab.
Yeah.
Hugo Bruce, Mfokeng. A lot of us say Hugo Bruce Mfokeng. He starts Mfokeng, and Mfokeng has a brilliant game. He has bonagaliso abega ba pabona. Bega ba shanga manyama pass back like a bottle lapaya. But what did you make of Bafana's overall performance against the South Korea?
Yeah, look, I think I would say I was very happy. I was very pleased. And another thing, I would say well done to the coach when I'm to you know, when sometimes you need to look back and say, what is that it's working for me? And that took me from where I was into where I am currently. And Hugo Bruce, he did that because of the formation that we played against South Korea. It's what took us to the World Cup and to the Africa Cup of Nations. And the boys did very well. Kingama 2000, he played very well. And I think it deserved to, you know, if coach allowed him to play and finish the game, I think it was going to give him more confidence. But nevertheless, when I'm too, well done to the boys. I mean, they played very well. I was happy, you know, and Masego did very well. And at some point, I was angry at him to say, you had a lot of chances. For you to put us ahead against Korea. But finally, he did that second half. And thanks to again, let me take you back. Look at who started that move with the pass. It was Mofokeng. He played wide to Umuremi. Umuremi with the speed, of which we needed that, with the speed, and get the ball, played across. Here's Masego, and Masego says, thank you very much, and we got a goal. Well done. And the team played very well. I was happy, more discipline, and the most player, I think the player that I was always hammering when I'm to, all the time I always hammer this player, was Tole. When matters most, he said, I'm here, Bafetu. I'll come to the party and help you guys as one of your teammates. And he had some moment where we needed him, and he came to the party. And well done, Sotole. Days are not the same. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does work. And you did very well against South Korea. And the last few minutes, like I said, that when matters most, you came to the party. And that was a very good job. You did very well. You put your body, in the line. And I saw that at some point I think your legs couldn't carry you. But you push yourself. And yeah, it shows that you are a soldier. And job well done, boy.
So now, Utso Hugo Bruce maga keep Mofokeng sakala baning. Why don't you trust in the boy? Nano mo kalu show ya shukuthi Hugo Bruce needs to trust Mofokeng. Kanti Mofokeng mele azayenzeni utso ukuthi bamuphe le game time ayideservayo ayidinga khona manje ku top 50 kuma assists ku World Cup yonke. Mofokeng u number 50 laphana, just one game. It took him only one game ukuthi angene laphana kula top 50.
Just imagine if our coach trusts him and give him that opportunity to play. For the main fact of being top 50 in the world, sure, that's an achievement. It's an achievement. I'm not going to lie to him too. It's an achievement for an African player, especially from us in South Africa, that we've never been given a chance of doing, maybe we play well or whatever the case may be, and he find himself in the top 50. Just imagine if the coach believes in him and allows him to play. Maybe it was going to be top 30 or top 20 of the players that they've got good assist. And I don't know what's going to take our coach Hugo Bruce to really trust him, because there's one thing that when you've got Mofokeng, you've got almost two players in one, because he can play as a winger on the left, he can play as a number 10, and we saw when he plays at number 10 that is very good. And when you see that in that number 10 maybe things are not working out, you can still put him as a winger on the left, and then it's gonna make a difference for you. But yeah, hope our coach he's gonna, after this World Cup, he's gonna start to really trust him in giving him more time in the field of play.
So bengicela nje ungihlisele lento lela entambeni mic.
La?
Yeah, kunalento le ngathi ibophile la. Le ngathi selethi.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, thank you. You look at lapha ko Bafana kunenkinga esinayo lapha, especially up front. Bafana dlale 4 games. Obvious 3 is a group stage, and then the last 32. Neither of our strikers scored. Forced to dlale first game akakoranga. Reyna's played all 4 games. Amanyu ngene as a substitute akakoranga. Makhupa the same. All 4 games Amanyu ngene as a substitute akakoranga. And the reason I'm saying that we have an issue is because pega na score line wethu. Against Mexico 2-0 we couldn't score. Against Czechia only 1 goal, a penalty. Against South Korea only 1 goal. Naleyo goal leo comes from a wing, not a striker. Do we have a big problem lapha phambili ku attack as Bafana?
To be really honest, too, we've got a serious problem in that final third with our strikers, because our strikers, I always say 2 things as a striker when I'm doing. Well, either you create or you score. And I don't want to dwell more on the third one in terms of, without a ball, you're chasing, blah, blah, blah. Because at the end of the day, when we need you to do your primary job, You should be there. And the primary job of a striker is to put the ball in the net. So we've got a serious problem with our strikers. And I believe that, one player that I thought was going to give us really something. And last night, he nearly got something, Orenas. There was a pass that he got, but he used the wrong foot to trap that ball. And I thought if he used the right foot, meaning if he uses his left in that ball that came to his right side, use the left foot to trap that ball was going to be in front of him. And then obviously we was going to give him the advantage of using his right to finish. But he uses his right. And when he uses his right, this is something that I always tell my players to say. When the ball comes this way, don't use your right, because once the ball hits your right leg, you still have to put that leg down so that you can have a balance. And in those seconds, where is the ball going? Because when you touch it, the ball goes there. You need to put your foot down, get a balance, and turn and go to the ball. Now, it's no more, you are no more in control of that ball. The ball is anybody's ball. That's what happened with Orenas, because he uses his right and it hit him here and he lost the touch, and then now he ended up losing the ball. But now, if he uses his left in that action, even if it bounces badly, but as he's putting this left leg down, the right is here in the advantage of saying, I can take a shot there, or I can control the ball. But yeah, I think he went to the World Cup, Orenas. I don't think he had that confidence because of he was not playing also at Sundowns, not scoring at Sundowns. So he's one player that I thought was gonna really give us something. But in football it does happen. But in reality, to be really honest, we've got a problem when it comes to strike force.
So now. Siyahamba after that game, obviously Bafana wins 1-0, courtesy of a goal scored by Thapelo Maseko, played well. Says qualify the last 32. Uthi mayiphuma ukuthi sidlala neCanada. A lot of us South Africans asho sithi asiyadlula la. iCanada seyidlala ibhola thina sibazi ngoDrake le bhola le isuka phi lento le. iCanada comes and then it writes a different script. They looked more hungry than Bafana Izolo. They looked like they wanted to win more than Bafana. Even attack yabo was better than ours. As much as laba bangagcwalanga like in daweni zebhola, but they seemed better than us yesterday. What did you make of yesterday's game?
Look, to be honest, I also, really did undermine Canada. And I said to myself, I think it's a game that I think we're gonna go through, But here's the thing in football, is that the one who wants most, he will get it. Yes, one thing again that we need to be realistic about it is that playing against the host is always going to be difficult. You saw against Mexico, it was tough because we're playing against the host. Again, now Canada, we're playing against they're hosting again. It was very tough to look. The boys, they fought. They were playing against Canada. We can undermine Canada, but they've got good players. Some players are not playing in Canada. They're playing around Europe. You can see the maturity of those players. You can see the football. Remember, we're playing a tournament. There's a tournament football. And then there's a football that we prefer to play, to say be patient. But in tournaments, sometimes you need to calculate the patience that you need to put in. So I think we try to be patient. But now when you're trying to be patient, there must be movements. So with them, they were not patient, but they knew that our movements, how they should be. Every time when they get a ball, they always look dangerous. Every time they get a ball, they always look dangerous. You know why? Because they didn't have players to, have more touches in the ball. 1-2, it's gone. 1-2, it's gone. When they hold on the ball, there's runs around them and the movement. That's why I'm saying, look, the boys have played, but the level between the two teams, players, pound to pound, somehow we were a bit exposed in terms of the international level compared to Canada and us. But nevertheless, I think the boys, they did showcase that, look, we are also a better country with our players, because I'm gonna say this when you look at that lineup, we had two players that are playing international football, that are playing overseas. Two. That means in a percentage of 100, we had 98% of local players that played the World Cup. 98%. Let me say, not two. We had 3 players, because it was Stole, Mogazi, and Okon. Yes, we had 3 players. That means it's 97% of local players that played the World Cup. Yes, we can say we're far. But when you look at the percentage, really be honest. Let's be honest about ourselves. I think we did well. I think we did well with the 97% of our players. We don't have maybe 80 players that are playing overseas, or 90 players that are playing overseas, compared to the rest of the world. The rest of the world, some of them is 100% they play overseas. Some of the countries, 100% of their players they playing overseas. They don't play locally. When you look at all these countries, you'll agree with me to say, yes, we can say the level where there and there exposed, but when you look at it in reality, our league, I think there is something good that we are doing in our league. If you're going to have 97% of local players playing the World Cup, go to the second round, it's a really appreciate, guys. Yes, Mtu, I agree with you. They've shown why they're hosting. They've shown that they're at home. They played that tournament football where it's all about we need to find ourselves in the final third as quick as possible. And when they lose the ball, they knew how to close us down, and they did very well. They studied us very well when in terms of making sure that Tebza is not playing. Tebza is not playing, and we need to close the spaces for Urile, not to get those spaces. Because let me show you how they did this, guys. They had a winger, a striker, and a winger. And what they did was, now these 3 come closer, and then they had 2 midfielders. Meaning those guys, they were attacking with 5, defending with 5. That's why we'll find them every time when they get the ball. They always have numbers going forward. And us, even though we've got numbers in that midfield, but we couldn't use that midfield. And there's one player that I thought, if he came to the party last night, in terms of when we are in position, he was going to help us, was Ulontuzana Ustole. Because now they mean Mark Ulontuzana Utebza. They make sure that Utebza doesn't get that freedom of getting the balls, making everyone play. They make sure that they close them down. They close the spaces for Urile. That's why you find that defense, they're very closer to the midfield, because they know that Urile, he needs that space between the defensive midfielder and the defense. So they make sure that as Urile drops in there, they're also coming closer so that it doesn't get that space. So, yeah. It did happen when I'm to that. Those guys were very smart, and we couldn't respond on that. Meaning that maybe how we did analyze them, we missed some few key things from them, because I didn't see their weakest link. One way or another, there must be a weakest link somewhere. But how we played last night, I didn't see any sign of saying maybe their right back is not strong enough. Let's capitalize on that. Or their left back is not strong enough. Let's capitalize on that. Or maybe in the midfield, as they're picking up spaces, this is how we can use, to say maybe Mutau go more, Masego come inside, Okono go there, Tebza come in, and then Mudiba go in, Apulisa come inside. Sometimes try those variation and then see how are they gonna respond when we're in position. But when we're in position, we're still playing in their hands, because now every time when we've got the ball, we wanted Tebza. Every time we get the ball at the back, we wanted Tebza to come and play. But now these guys, they've realized that Tebza is our key man. So they make sure that Tebza doesn't play. And Stole was always getting a free space all the time. But they knew that he's not a danger man. Even if he gets the ball, he was not going to go forward. He was going to play it backwards or sideways. So that's why they were not worried about him. So for us, I think we didn't really study them and find the weakest link.
So as khulume ngama substitute to Hugo Broos awayenzile, if there's one thing him and his technical team got wrong, impact players. And Skali level from Leskato Hugo Broos announced his squad sakhe sithi akana impact players, because if uqala ngomfukeng uqala ngoApollo uqala ngoMaseko, you only have one impact player uTsepang Murimi. So laba boyitrina bakhathele awuna chance ugcina so yenza kuphela ifinder. But what did you make of ama substitutions waka Hugo Broos nendlela kaba yenze ngayo?
Look, last night I think the mistake that I think he did was to take out Urile. Urile was making those runs behind that defense, and you can ask the defenders; they will tell you when we've got a player that is making runs behind you guys, it's always a headache to chase him. But now here's the thing, too, that our coach didn't really see in terms of when Urile is making those runs. He made a couple of runs, especially to the left side of Apolise. But now here's the thing. When he makes us run, goes wide to the left side of Apolise. Apolise was supposed to make a diagonal run to the box to occupy the position of Urile. Because Urile, he makes a run there. Then Apolise, as soon as you see he makes that run there, then you need to make the run diagonal to occupy that attacking zone, that number 10 zone area next to Omakhoba. So that when Urile gets the ball and 10, it's easier for him to do what? To play it there in the box, so that if Omakhoba can hit the ball, he can chase it back for you, Apolise, and then you just tap in. Those are things that our coach and his technical team and his analysis, they didn't look at. And when the coach took out Urile, he made a very big mistake. A very big mistake, because the player that I believe that really I like him. I like him. He's one of the best players here in South Africa, also Apolise. But I don't think Apolise was in the game. Not only last night. I can say the whole tournament, I was not. He didn't show me. He didn't show me the good signs of Apolise, the one that we all know here in the PSL. Getting inside the box, taking on the man. It was always his body. Every time when you look at him when you receive, he's always the attacking zone is always behind him. He's not looking at the attacking zone to say, I'm gonna put my body in this manner to say, when I get a ball, I go forward. His body was always facing backwards, facing our goalpost, meaning the attacking zone is always behind him. And I was not really pleased. So when he took out Urile, this is what I said to my guys last night, to say, if he wants to make a change, he can only take out Apolise. Because I can see maybe wants to strengthen the midfield. You can take out Apolise and say, go really, you can go to the left. And then put Adams. You know why? Because I've realized that these guys, they've assigned somebody to take care of Tebza. They didn't mind to sacrifice a midfielder to take care of Tebza. So now as we see that Tebza, he's not involved more in the game. So you needed a player that will play more or less similar job like Utebza to say he can get the ball from the back, he can make everyone play, he can also advance when we need him to go forward. And the only player that I think he can do that job very well was Jaden Adams. I think Jaden Adams, last night's game was gonna suit him very, very well, because we needed somebody that would get the ball 10 and then make us play. Because you can see that Utebza has been man mark, and then because our coach doesn't want to take us to Ustole. That's why I was going to bring Adams. So that you need to take the weight away from Ulontuzan, away from Utebza, and put Adams there. Then take out Ustole and put Tumbata. Now you've got 3 players. 2 players, they'll take a weight out of Utebza. And now you're going to make that midfielder and their coach to think now to say, hey man, who's this now? Who's this now? Now they're getting to these pockets. How do they get to these pockets? Because the person that makes this team to play, we assign somebody to sit with him. But with that, we are still exposed in the midfield. But yeah, our coach couldn't get it right. And he took out the player that I think he was giving us something, getting to that final third. And yeah, he put the Renas. I think, yeah, he made a good change to take out Umakhopa. And sometimes when you've got a player like Umakhopa and you want to play that long ball, you need now your wingers to do what? To come inside, because your midfielders are not joining up. If you don't have midfielders that are joining up, then you need to call these 2 to say, as the ball is going to go long to Makhopa, you guys come inside. As you come inside, and then one must go behind him. One must stay in front of him. They need to do this interchange to say, if you decide to flick, then there's one that's going behind. If you decide to hold the ball, then there's one in front of him. Because our midfielders were not coming. In terms of if the long ball goes to Makhopa, they were not coming closer. If he protects the ball, then he can play it in front of them. So you need to vary your game. And in that moment, as they come inside, then you still have an opportunity to do what? To push Umudawu no Mudiba, to say the ball goes there. You guys go further. Go further, because these 2, they're coming in. Go further. And then the defense, they stretch out. Then you still have 3 in the midfield. So if you're gonna have Okona here, you're gonna have Ulontuzana Lapayana, TLB, and then you still have these 3 that they can still stand like this. Then we've got 5 defending. We still solid at the back. But yeah, to be really honest, I think our coach made a mistake, especially by taking out Urile, and he left us with no creativity, no run behind the strikers, and yeah.
You look at my Kali World Cup, so played against Mexico, which we should have beaten. Mexico bebangeko strong. It's just that a coach in a technical team to approach abaitile yebakostile. We play against Czechia. Bafana was supposed to win that game also. They dominate the position, but create some chance just to go to Bebanga convert. And then by a winner against South Korea. 1-0, and then Izolo bayadliwa futhi. Another game that they were supposed to win. Leia Izolo nayo was just an easy. It was theirs for the taking. Again, coach in a technical team yake failed the boys. So throughout yonke level Cup Bafana le maidlala, would you say Hugo Bruce and his technical team failed the Bafana, or do you think they were successful?
Let me say this when I'm before I can comment further. I'll quote this. When I'm that team, when you try and win, everyone is happy. But when you try and fail, you get experience. I don't know, maybe young Israel or team. I'm saying this to say our team, the coach and his technical team, they did well too. They've tried other games, then we failed. But we gain experience on that. We gain the knowledge. To say we've tried, we failed, but this is what we've learned in that game against Mexico. And then came again a Czech. We tried, we won, and we're happy. Everyone was happy. And then we go again against London and South Korea. We tried again. We won. Everyone was happy. So we tried again against Canada. We failed. But we've learned. We get experience. We get knowledge. Now to say some games, things like this will happen. And when things like this happen, this is how we need to adjust ourselves. This is how we need to do things going forward. But in your question too, I'm saying to you now, and to South Africans, well done to the coach Hugo Broos and his technical team and the boys. Coach Hugo Broos and his technical team, they did very well too. We never thought, truly honest, we never thought that we will go past the group stages. And we did. We did pass the group stage. It never happened in South African football. These players, they've created history. This is a history too that everyone will be talking about, and including the Europeans countries. They'll talk about this, that South Africa, they made it to the groups, want to qualify to the World Cup with these local players. That's number one. The percentage of the local players that qualify to the World Cup, it says a lot about the coach. He trusted the local players and they took him to the World Cup. The same players, they took him to the second round. They managed to go through in the group stages and then they qualify for the second round. That's wonderful too. We can only take as much as we can take from the experience of being in the World Cup. It was the first time for everyone. If I'm not mistaken, also for the coach Hugo Broos to be in the World Cup. I think it was the first time for him to be in the World Cup. And the technical team as a whole, in terms of sitting in that bench, being giving instructions to the players, and also the players themselves to be in that stage. It was the first time for all of them, if I'm not mistaken. And look, we can't take it away from them too. They did very well, these boys. I'm proud of these boys. I'm very, very proud to compete against the top players that are playing in the top leagues. And we managed that. We went to the group stages and then we went to the knockout. Well done to Coach Hugo Broos and his technical team. For me, they did well too.
Before sivala sesazokhuluma ngo-TLB kancane, but Hugo Broos ngokwazi kwethu igame yakhe yokugcina nebafana bafana, but because South African football is South African football, we can still see surprises. Should Hugo Broos not come back, uba nomreplacer? Before ngiphendule lapho, let me say this. We all knew ukuthi Hugo Broos, he said he's retiring after the World Cup. Ne? Yes. But now here's a funny thing that will make everyone to really open their eyes and really look at things. To say, we all knew Hugo Broos is going to retire after the World Cup. Now did we open up the post to say, coaches, you can send your CVs to apply for a job after the World Cup. I am sure that SAFA, they do have a technical team that needs to sit down and interview the coaches for the head coach of Bafana Bafana. But now, here's the thing. SAFA didn't open up that post. So for me, personally, I knew, and I'm going to say it now. As SAFA didn't open up that post for a new coach, Coach Hugo Broos is going to come back. He's going to come back. I'm telling you, he's going to come back. He did very well. No coach that took us to the second round of the World Cup. Yes, we had a coach, may his soul rest in peace. He played the qualifying games. He took us to the World Cup. Udele to Clive Parker. I think he's the only South African coach that did that. The rest coaches says they took us to the World Cup, but other people, they played the part, and we had to select that coach going to the World Cup.
But Coach Clive Barker is the only coach in South Africa that played the qualifying games, took us to the World Cup. So Coach Hugo Broos, I think, is going to come back. But if he doesn't come back, can Safa give Coach Peter Mosimane that job? I think he's one of the coaches that he's got the experience now. He played and he played in the PSL, coaching the PSL, go and play and coach in Egypt, one of the top teams in Africa, and he went also to the Gulf and where he coached there. So he's got that experience. Now he understands now in terms of the football part, when to play good football, when to play that football, the winning football. If you want to win, play tournament football. He knows how to plan that, and I think he's the only coach that, for me personal, I think he can take us somewhere and allow him to call his technical team. You know, Abo Rulane, Abo Steve Compel, Abo Mangoba, those are the people that he created a history with them, you know, and appoint him and allow him to bring his crew, Abo Kabelo, conditional coaches, analysis work and all of that. Allow him to bring his crew. And I think if they can give Coach Pito and Coach Pito bring his technical team, as I just mentioned now, I think we'll be moving in a very, very good direction.
All right, before Sivala, Mbogazi, he has to be the best player Bafana go World Cup. Confidence aga Mbogazi sashushanga any confidence yo 2 liter. Very strong. Technically sound futhi uyakwazi ukuphasa, uyakwazi ukusquare, uyakwazi ukuridi game, uyakwazi ukushuta, simbona bhamuze nebhola sinenini. What did you make of Mbokezeli Mbogazi's performance throughout the World Cup?
You know, Mdu, this boy, he's something else. He's something else. And, you know, as I said earlier, that these teams, they did analyze. Look at how they were always putting pressure on Okone than Mbogazi. Because they knew that they're not going to get anything from Mbogazi. They knew. Look at their strikers. Let's start the first half to, let's go to him. So when they realize that Mbogazi, we are not winning anything, even if when our strikers got the ball, Mbogazi is pulling the striker and is winning the balls and make us to play. Then they shift to go to Okon. You know, Mbogazi is one of the best defenders, I can say it, in this World Cup. Not only for South Africa, but I think he has done very well to open doors for himself. You know, I heard when a lot of people say, Coach Hugo Broos says going to America is not gonna, do much for him and all of that. And I said, Mbogazi, he's got an advantage. And I explained to people, and I'm going to explain it to now. Mbogazi, he's going away from home. It's not a new thing from him. Let me tell you why. Mbogazi, they said he comes from the village. Then from the village went to Amazulu. So already he knows how to be away from home. So from there, he went to Orlando Pirates. He's used to be away. Now, as he went to Chicago, for me, I didn't panic at all. Because I knew that he's going to do well, because, when you're used to be away, you understand the struggle. You understand certain things that you need to do as you're an away player. You are not at home. You are in another province. You are in another country now, and you need to adjust on that. And he's been adjusting very well. Look at him there in his team. He was voted in the team of the week, if I'm not mistaken, at some point there in that league. In that league, they've got top players. They've got top players in that league. But he was selected also to be one of the top in the team of the week. And for me, the boy's been doing well. And I said, in life, you need to start somewhere to be somewhere. And as I just said it earlier, to say, look at from the village to Amazulu, to Orlando Pirates, to Chicago. He started somewhere. So even now as he's there, if you want to see him to also these top leagues, Premier League, Italian League, Spanish La Liga, or German League, he needs to start somewhere. And for me, with Ayala Payana, it was, look, a blessing in disguise. Because look at him in this World Cup. You can ask now, I'm sure most, if not 80%, it will be 90% of the coaches that will say, I would love to have a player like him. He knows when to cover. He knows he's good with the ball. He's a good passer of the ball. He can switch, you know. And I saw him the last few minutes when he controls the ball, gets to that midfield, and also has end up there up front in that final third. It shows the character of the boy. And as South Africa, to have a player like him, wow, we are blessed. And I'm saying to him, Mbokazi, keep up the good work, Mfanagit. You've shown us before. You're still showing us even now. And I wish all the best. All the best. And I said to my colleagues, let's not be surprised if Mbokazi won't be in that team in Chicago coming next season.
I know, we deserve a straight Mbokazi. I deserve. In closing, the combination Agaya no Tebza is not working for Bafana. I don't know if you Pela or Ibonai, but their combination is not working. They don't complement each other, and Baba Nama mistake a manning in Nabadala too. But you look at how when Tebza was suspended, Gole came in South Korea, where are Udlalile Nombata, and where I played well. Adala Nombata. So he struggles a lot, Magmelo Gutadala no Tebza. I don't know now what you think of that combination.
It's not the first time him do that when both of them are playing, it doesn't seems like coming right, you know. And yes, they played well. He played well. When we needed him, he came to the party, especially in the last 10 minutes against South Korea. Ustole came to the party. But now the thing is that Ustole can play. The thing is that when we are in position of the ball, that's where we are having problems with Ustole being available in getting the ball and turn and then go forward. He'll go there, get the ball, but he's still going to play a big pass or sideways, you know. So that's the difference between him and Tebza. Tebza will go in there and get the ball and turn and then let's go forward. Especially, there's always a difference in midfielders that you're always going to have. You know, because when you look at Utebza is a player that when he gets the ball and turn, midfielders are coming in. Wide players, they cut inside to the pockets, allowing the fullbacks to go, and then that's how we start to play. But us, our wingers, were not coming in those pockets, you know, and as they were not coming in those pockets, it makes our life very, very difficult to play. So yes, the combination of Tebza and Sithole, it's really not working. It's not working, because at some point, even when we need him, like last night, when we need him to close those channels, because if we call our key player, a player that we want to use him to attack, we call him to come in and defend as far as he looks like a right back, Umasego. Something is not right. Something is not right, you know. And I thought what was supposed to happen is that, you know, we need to find sometimes create some risk to say, Masego, as this guy goes, come until halfway line. And then from there, we've got midfielders. Let's reshuffle midfielders. You know, let's reshuffle. We say, Google Ntuzana, Gumudaw. Ungangeni ngaphakathi mudaw. Hlala phaya, and then usithole angene. Because what they were doing is that the winger was coming in the pocket. And Umuda was coming in. As he was coming in now, that space is created. Then that fullback was forcing Ulontuzana to come to drop back Umaseko. So why we didn't do this and say, stay, Modao. And then when Stroll, come in. Because this guy, as he comes in, you drop back. The danger, it's not the one that is in front of you. It's the one that is coming to the space. You know, so we're supposed to say, Stroll, come here, Atlalela, Ulontuzana, Umudao, and face this left back, Canada. And then when we win the ball, we know that Umaseko is free there. But yeah, there's we learn in this game, and we must always try to find solutions, even sometimes when it's tough. I know that we need to be solid at the back and in the midfield, but sometimes, like they were doing in Canada, they took some risk to say 5 up, 5 at the back. So they knew that when we get a ball, we don't hold it, we play it up front, because we know that we've got 5, that they need to find solutions for us to get a goal. And that's what happened.
I know, man. Siyabonga, singayivala.
Lona ubongani Benedict Vilakazi bambiza Early Napoleon umshikashika insizwe zishumi mayoda ngekenze lutho ngizothi ngiyabonga kakhulu bafethu la ku Tsos Football Wisdom. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share and post, especially to subscribe. Tango.